Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The DK Effect. A real-life diary of a madman.
It's time for the DK Effect. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Oh, 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 oh. It's time for the DK Effect. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Oh, 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 oh.
You guessed it. It's me, producer Reggie. Sorry to hijack the show, DK, but a listener caught an error on your part in Chapter 3. Rachel reported that you said Lindsay Lohan had an accident at the Olympics. In fact, it was Lindsay Vonn. She was, in fact, correct. Producer Reggie signing off. Over to you, DK.
Okay. Thanks for that very important information, Reggie. I don't know what I'd do without you. Where were we? Oh, top of the day. My name is DK. Great show I had for you today. The first part of our interview with Stu coming up in just a few minutes. All right, so how did you do with the 5 to Thrive? I asked you to, do one of them, feed the mind, manage your physical state through nutrition, exercise, get that energy going, find role models, get the right people around, take massive action. Are you the massive action person? Which did you start with? I'm finding mentors, and I'll tell you about that too. And then at the end of the show, I asked you to get rid of negativity for a week. One person texted me and said, "How do you expect me to get negativity? I am known for my angry rants and wishing strange diseases upon people." Okay, well, that's what I was asking you to try and get rid of. For starters, just 1 week. This week, I'm going to circle back to routine and tell you a couple things I do also in my daily routine, aside from my exercises and things like that. I read good books every day, at least a chapter. I go through books now like water, and I understand I have more time than a lot of people, but I do audiobooks, and if you like audiobooks, you listen to them in the car or while you're exercising or, while you're winding down before bed. It's just something I do every day. I like personal development, positive thinking, psychology, that sort of thing. I do enjoy fiction, but I'm right now diving into all these other things that we talk about. And, if you enjoy a good romance or a murder mystery or a suspense or some World War II history, whatever you enjoy, if it makes you feel good, that's one of the ideas, one of the targets of reading a good book every day. Or listening, in my case. And the second thing I do every day, I don't think I've ever mentioned this, is I took up meditation. And in the beginning, I just put on some quiet music or a thunderstorm or the ocean, and I found that it really relaxed me. And once I was able to concentrate on my breathing, which is supposed to bring you back from a wandering mind, I found it relaxing. I was able to pray. I'm not telling you how to do it. It really cleared the mind and relaxed and took away all the excitement of the day. And then I started reading that as well, and I'm not doing it yet, But there's all kinds of different things. There is one where you're supposed to let your imagination go, travel into the past, all kinds of really cool stuff for you to dive into. And I'll get into all this a little more, but those two things are going to tie in to what we're going to be talking to, which is harnessing the ultimate power. And we'll get to that in the next couple of weeks. But for now, we're going to turn it over to our interview with Stu.
And now the wait is over. Here's part one of our conversation with Stu. From the couch and overweight, unhappy with a poor attitude. He knew there was more. He knew he was capable of bigger things. So sit back and enjoy as Stu takes us through the journey in his own words.
Now representing from London, England, representing Team Grande. It's a conversation with Stu.
Okay, top of the day again, everybody. This is DK, and I am joined in the studio today with Stu. Gave you a little promo before we came on the line here, so we're going to get right down to the meat and potatoes. So, Stu, first of all, welcome to the DK Effect.
Good day to you too. Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's quite an honour being your first guest, and I've been following your show. Enjoying what I've heard so far, although you've got quite a long road. You've been through the mill, as they say. You seem to have the right mindset to make a good recovery.
And of course, I owe a lot to you. You've been in touch with me the entire time, from the hospital bed all the way to here. So let's go and encourage the listeners. I think they're going to really enjoy what you have to say. So. Let's go, and I must tell you right off the bat, just a little side joke to get us going, folks. I don't know about Stu, but I am drinking coffee. I don't think I've ever done a show with Stu where we're drinking coffee. But
no,
anyway.
And I am drinking sparkling water.
Oh, geez, what a turnaround! Anyway,
I used to drink everything but water.
Oh, yes, I was there with you. And I have to formally apologize, too, as we get that I was one of the ones that was teasing and joking and just I didn't understand why you were doing this. And now you're helping me live it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think, well, yeah, when you get it, you get it. But so, I mean, what happened in my journey was back in 2021, I was a 51-year-old below average guy, as in fitness. I used to get out of breath putting on my shoes. Literally, I would bend over, and I had a huge, well, not huge, but I had a large stomach, and I literally got out of breath just doing my shoes, just putting my shoes on.
Right.
And,
so that was your rock bottom.
Well, I guess I stood there one day in front of the mirror getting dressed, and my extra large t-shirts were getting too small for me. And it's not like I was filling them out with muscle. And my trousers were getting tighter, or my jeans, and I'm thinking, I cannot get an extra, the next size up. It's just ridiculous.
Right.
And something has got to happen, And I've been thinking this for like a few weeks before I actually started my journey, because most people go on have like a New Year's resolution.
Right.
So I was thinking about my New Year's resolution when I should have been doing it. So
well, they never keep them anyway, right?
No, people never keep them.
Yeah.
So the actual date of my turnaround was the 19th of January in 21.
Wow, you have it pinned right to the day.
I have it. I know exactly when it was. Yeah.
Jeez.
And you sort of say to yourself, I've got to stop eating this crap. I've got to do this, got to do that. And you go on little diets here and there like everyone does. And before you know it, you're back to where you was. I think that's the majority of people, really,
Right.
It's a slippery slope, you end up back where you were.
Well, and we often talk on the show here about, I know you don't use the same terminology as me, but you got to get in the state. You got to write that new story.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So you're stuck on the couch, is what you told me. I remember.
I used to watch TV and eat crap food. I mean, not all crap food, but I used to eat a lot of food and just not doing any exercise really.
Right.
So, although when I rewrote my story, I didn't know I was rewriting my story because you don't know how far you're going to go with it.
Right.
And so basically it's like a day at a time, and then a week at a time, and then a month at a time. And I started off with walking.
Right. And I like how you said it originally. It was that step off the couch was the hardest.
Yeah. The first step is the hardest one to make.
Yeah.
Definitely. And especially in January when the weather's bad, it's dark, it's gloomy, it's cold, it's raining. And I decided that I'd just start walking. But like a lot of blokes, we never do things by halves,
Yeah.
We think, right, I'm going to walk, but I'm not just going to walk up the end of the road, because I was capable of more than doing that. And I would have like a little trip worked out, and it would take me a good hour, I would say. So basically every day I would do that same route, and sometimes I would do it in reverse, and I would just do it. And I can still remember, and I've actually got a photograph of me or selfie or whatever, and it was snowing out, very cold, and just every day I walked. But along with the walking, I controlled my diet.
Right.
And with those two hand in hand, I noticed very quickly the weight started to fall off me. And just sort of I wasn't like super obese or anything like that, but I was.
You noticed it.
I noticed it. Yeah, I definitely noticed it. And the thing is, when you start losing weight, it never falls off the place where you want it to fall off.
Yeah.
You could do sit-ups all day long, and you won't get a flat belly, and that's a fact.
Just before you move any further, now, was it the weight was the weight, and that was let's say cosmetic. What about the energy when you started, and then now you're walking every day and eating better?
Yeah. Well, as the weight did fall off, I certainly started to feel like I had more energy. But I didn't really have more energy until the weight came off, if you get what I mean.
Right, gotcha.
It sort of went hand in hand. After, what was we, January, February, March, April time, I'd been walking consistently every day,
Okay,
and
so 2 months, about 2 months.
Probably about 6 miles, 7 miles, sometimes more.
That's good, though. Okay.
A day, sometimes more than that, And I had this app on my phone called Couch to 5K, and it's anyone that doesn't know, it's a running app. It gets you literally off the couch, and eventually the goal is to be able to run 5 kilometers. So I'd had this app, and I kept opening it and looking at it, and looking at the first few runs that you was meant to do, and it's like a sequence of walking for a minute, and then maybe running for 30 seconds, and then walking for a minute, and over the days and weeks, you end up building up to being able to run 5 kilometers without stopping in one go, But
and did that now? How about the energy now? Did that say, okay, nothing's going to stop me now?
Well, once I started doing the once I started doing the couch to 5K, and I tell you, the first run I done, I had walking boots on, jeans, and an outdoor coat on because I was in the middle of a walk, and I thought, well, look, I can run for 30 seconds surely. But to be honest, I was like, I was an absolute sweating mess after running for 30 seconds.
But you didn't quit. You didn't stop.
I didn't quit, no. And even when I was out doing these couch to 5K runs, I used to have a towel with me because I was sweating so much. And I had always had a water bottle with me as well. And I used to, like, I could swear people were looking at me and thinking, what on earth is that guy doing? You know, I felt so stupid. I felt really stupid. I felt like a sweaty mess. And I said to my wife, I can't imagine ever being able to complete this, like to get to the stage where I can run for 5 kilometers in one go.
Right.
It felt like a sort of a distant dream. But like you said, I never quit.
Right.
And I actually finished it about a week earlier than was scheduled.
And now, did you celebrate that as a major win?
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like, and people asked as well, because how it affects you mentally. So after I'd done the couch to 5K, I thought, well, I've got to keep doing this 5K. I don't want to lose the ability to do it. So I kept doing the 5 kilometer runs.
Right.
And someone asked me, I think it was my wife or my daughter asked me, like, how do you feel after doing that? And I just said, and you feel like crying because you feel so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could bottle it up and sell it, you'd be a millionaire.
There you go. Yeah, there's an idea.
If you seriously, it made me feel so good. And to be honest, it makes you realize how bad you felt
Yeah.
before.
No, I hear you. You gotta celebrate every little victory.
Here are some fun facts for you. In May 2017, a 22-year-old Mexican woman from the Tarahumara indigenous community won a 50-kilometer race wearing only sandals. California is the only state to host the Summer and the Winter Olympics. And finally, all 5 of George Foreman's sons are named George Edward.
Everything the DK Effect all in one place. www.thedkeffect.ca. All our social media links. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. A library of articles that go into detail on subjects covered on the show. And other articles including mental health, personal growth, fitness, and success stories. An easy way to contact us with questions or if you want to share your story on the show. Yep. All of that in one place to assist you on your life journey. It all starts with taking the first step at www.thedkeffect.ca.
Back over to you, Ditka. 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 Back over to you, Ditka.
Okay. What did you think of that? I thoroughly enjoyed talking to him. What did you get out of that? What did you see of maybe things that we've been talking about or things that you're working out on your own? He used different names for things, but it's a lot of the same stuff. He talked about his new story. Obviously there was goal setting in there, and probably my favorite thing, taking massive action. Never stopped. Did it every day. Dressed like a fool, in his own words. But he did it. And it made him feel good. And, I don't know what you got from it, but I hope you got something. In the next episode, part 2 of the interview, you'll see that things weren't always as rosy as they were this week. And is Stu able to overcome these setbacks? We'll find out. But until then, boys and girls, it's your choice. You can react to a situation or you can respond to a situation. When you react, you're not thinking it through. You're doing it just off the cuff. When you respond, you're doing it with a meaning. You're doing it with a purpose. I'll leave you with that this week. As always, please be kind to each other. Most importantly, be kind to yourself. Invest some time in yourself. And I don't mean just exercise. I mentioned meditation and reading a book and just being quiet. Take some time. Do that this week. Just invest in yourself. Reinforce your goals. Dream big. Dream right off the map. And then find out how you're going to get to the end of the dream. Right? All right. Smile at a stranger. Smile in the mirror. Until next time, I'm DK.
Never, never, never look back. Keep going.